All right, welcome back to another episode of To The Show Baseball Podcast, presented by ProspectsLive.com. I am your host, Andrew Parker, and today's episode, I have a 2026 draftee from the Boston Red Sox draft class on today. I have Josh Volmerding on from Cal Poly. He was their 8th round selection, and we just, introduce him to Red Sox fans all around. Very intriguing arm. Had a knee injury in his last year here at Cal Poly. That ended up sidelining him for a bit, but he did come back. We do talk about, obviously his performance down the stretch and what led to being drafted. And, we do talk about what he's been up to down in Fort Myers and just getting to know him as a person. So before I shoot to the interview, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever it is you get your podcasts, a like and subscribe goes a long way. Making a big push on the YouTube channel right now. It is completely free to do so, to subscribe on there, and it means the world to me. So anything helps there. But without further ado, let me shoot you on to the interview with Josh Volmerding. All right, Josh, I want to say thank you very much for hopping on and joining me today. And congrats, by the way, on turning pro. I know it's been a little over a month now, but I want to see how are things going for you down in Fort Myers.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you having me. Yeah, it's going great. Just settling in here over the last month. I think, it's been definitely a difference from what I've been used to my whole life. Coming from college. I mean, that's definitely a step closer than high school, but just the whole atmosphere of everyone else here is pretty dang good at baseball. I'm all my life is baseball. I don't got school. Really got to focus on that recovery, that sleep, and stuff like that. Just getting used to all that, getting settling in. It's going good.
So has it been an interesting switch up going from West Coast to East Coast? Have you kind of settled in yet on East Coast time?
Time, yeah. Weather, no.
Okay.
I've never been so hot in my life. It's crazy. Sweating like
Yeah.
crazy over here. I think there's not a lot of things that I really miss. I really enjoy being over here. It's a great time, great experience, and everything. I love it. But man, am I missing that California weather?
So not even missing a little bit of in and out or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, you got the in and outs and stuff like that, but there's some pretty darn good restaurants over here too that I've never had. So, I'm trying them. I'm trying them all. I've tried Culver's. I've tried
Ooh.
Zaxby's. They're both pretty good. I'm going down the line. So.
Okay. So people that it might be a running joke. I don't know, but I don't know if you looked this up ahead of time, but I am the number one Zaxby's spokesperson in the United States, probably. I need your thoughts on Zaxby's and Culver's. Like, I'm a Midwest guy too, so I'm a Culver's guy, but what are your thoughts on the two of them?
I mean, Zaxby's is pretty darn good, I have to say. I'm a Canes guy.
Okay.
There's not too many Canes over there, but Zaxby's chicken definitely better than Canes. I'll tell you that. The chicken's better, but I don't know about that bread. That Canes bread is unbeatable. I'll tell you. And I think
Okay.
Culver's is definitely a good, in between In-N-Out and McDonald's. I like me a good McDonald's burger. But Culver's is definitely a step up from there, but I just don't think you could beat that In-N-Out, honestly. I don't think so.
Other than their fries, I agree with you.
I agree. Okay, yeah, I agree on that one too.
Okay. And I wanted on the record that I did not talk to you ahead of time about hyping up Zaxby's. I will get messages about it. So that was very, I don't know. That was all you. So I do appreciate that though.
All me. Yeah. Zaxby's is great.
All right, awesome. Well, obviously Fort Myers in July, August, one of the worst times of the year to probably be down there. But you're down there though. You're getting to know a lot of your draft classmates, a lot of the guys rehabbing down there, a lot of the Latin America guys down there from the FCL. I guess what has your day-to-day been looking like? I guess since you've been drafted down in Fort Myers.
I mean, I can't complain. I'll tell you that. You wake up 7:30, take a shower, you just get ready for the day. You got no real worries on your mind besides going to play baseball. I think starting your day like that just can't be beat. Head to the field, get some breakfast at the cafeteria. Start my prep, my movement prep, stretch. Maybe go to the training room, get some stuff done on my shoulder. play catch, do some conditioning, maybe hit a lift. Maybe I don't have a lift that day. Eat some lunch, and boom. After that, I get to do whatever I want. So, I don't expect every day like this to be. I don't expect to be like this every day in the season. But for now, man, I can't complain. It's pretty awesome.
Has it like set in yet? I know you mentioned it earlier, like you don't have to do like schoolwork or anything like that, but all your friends went back to school or they're about to if they haven't yet, and you're not. So like, has that set in yet? Just how weird that is?
Yeah, no, definitely hasn't fully set in yet. I still get like paranoid some days on like Sunday night. Like, did I do everything I need to? Because I'm just so used to having homework. Definitely hasn't set in completely yet, but it's I'll tell you, it's pretty awesome not having homework to do every day. So
Those Sunday scaries, man, whenever you're like, man, did I turn everything in or did I do?
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
real thing. We've all been there. So, yeah, it's got to be an interesting time. I feel old now. I'm into my 30s now. So like I've kind of been away from it a while. So I don't really understand that feeling, but I know back in the time I was
yeah,
like, wow, like this is awesome. But
yeah.
I did want to ask as well. I know you had a knee injury over your last season that kind of had you miss some time, and I know you did return from that. But how is the knee feeling? I guess now that we're later into the year.
It's feeling pretty good, to be honest. Just kind of starting from the beginning. It was a really unfortunate time when I got hurt. Right before the season starts, just like 2 or 3 weeks before the season started, and I'm supposed to be the Saturday guy, third year guy, started the year before, so I didn't really want to hit the end the season before it even starts my junior year. So that kind of played through it. Kind of sucks. Obviously, you could go look at the video or stats, and you tell it wasn't a great time. I promise it wasn't comfortable going out there either. Um, but then I took that break, about 7-8 weeks. Learned a lot about myself, my mental fortitude, and just a lot of other external things that you don't you got to make the best of your situation. So learn some stuff with my arm path about how my body moves. Took that into the games after that 8-week break, and it's kind of been nonstop from there. Just kept going, kept throwing, building up my arm, building up that knee strength in the running and in the weight room. Fast forward to today, I'm doing a lot more of conditioning, running, lateral stopping, getting into jumping right now. I know the injury was like 7 months ago, and it's kind of a long time to not jump, but I had to play on it, so I wasn't really willing to risk it until now. So yeah, now we're really just getting into the nitty gritty stuff of kind of pushing through the pain now and honestly pushing through the mental part of. It's hard when you haven't jumped or ran in months, and you hurt yourself so bad. So pushing through all that stuff right now, that's kind of what we're going through. And it's been good though. The training staff here has been really awesome. They really know what they're doing with all this stuff. Obviously, I mean, there's so many people behind the scenes that are helping me out, which makes it a lot easier for me. So yeah, I mean, it's going good. Obviously, I wish I was 100%, but not there yet. Definitely closer than I was, a month ago, though. So it's I'm happy with it.
So I guess during this last season, like you would probably consider it not being you weren't at 100% once you came back.
No, I mean, I don't. I'm not the one to make excuses, but I would definitely say I was hindered at some points of the year. Early on, before I took the break, it was pretty painful to say the least. Going out there, I was able to get through an inning. You start a baseball game, you got some adrenaline flowing through you. You're ready to go, and then I'd sit down in between innings, go back out there, and it was like I couldn't even feel the baseball in my hand because it was hurting so much in my knee. All I could think about was that. So that part really sucked. That was definitely an experience I don't wish upon anybody. Coming back though, I would definitely say I was pretty close to my full capabilities. Obviously maybe not like couldn't run really well, but you don't really need to run that much as a pitcher. I'd say I was pretty darn close, 85-ish% on that time back. And, I think I showed it. I kept my velo pretty much, I actually peaked in my PR and velo during this end of this year. I was able to, get better feel for my stuff. And obviously put up my second half was exponentially better than my first half of the year. So, I definitely wouldn't say I was at 100% all year, but, it's just how baseball goes. You're never really going to be at 100%. Maybe if I didn't hurt my knee, I could have had back problems or arm problems, or, I might have freaking woken up bad that day. But so you can't really make excuses about it. Definitely say I wasn't 100%, but I think, I made the best of it, I think.
I'm just curious, what was that PR in velo this year?
Yeah, 96 was the PR. I'd hit 95 a bunch before, so 96. I got it in game too. I got it it showed up on the TV radar, so it was pretty
Love
cool.
that.
So,
Okay,
but
always
yeah.
good to see sixes on there.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Okay. Well, injury aside, I did want to ask too, because I don't know if I read this correctly, but you guys were part of the at Cal Poly, the first NCAA regional win in program history,
Yeah.
I believe, this past year. How cool a feeling was that for your group to get that done this year and just be part of something like that at your school?
Oh, I mean, it was, the feeling was unmatched. I've said I don't think I've ever said up until this point that my favorite experience on a baseball field. Uh, every time up until now, it would have been, me pitching, a moment for me. But I think if you were to ask me right now, my favorite moment I've ever had on a baseball field was, I think the top 3 moments would all be in that game, and none of them was when I was pitching. So that just goes to show how, awesome that feeling was. It means a lot for, other people besides, us and the team too. Like our head coach, Larry Lee, he's been a head coach there. He's like 750 career Division I wins at Cal Poly, which is crazy. Is like over 1,000 career wins in college. All the fans that show up to support us all the time, all the parents, getting to experience that with us is, just knowing that you did it with so many other people, and so many people, put their time and effort into you, and just looking up in the stands after, we're sitting up on the field with a trophy. We see people that freaking drove in and flew in to watch us play, and just celebrating with them as well it was awesome. I don't think you could ever. I mean, I think the only thing that you could really compare that to would be, winning the World Series in baseball.
Yeah, I was about to follow up and ask, like, will there be a moment that you are going to that you're going to be able to experience in the next like couple years that would top that? I mean, I don't know what it would be other than like maybe making your pro debut, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely some like you definitely got to split it up between like team and personal in a way, because yeah, making your debut, I don't know, say you win some award, like I don't know if you could really beat that feeling for yourself. But just overall feeling, considering the circumstances of, mid-major school, never gotten a win in a regional, like the regional win before, stuff like that. It's just it's like a once in a lifetime moment for 99% of the time that happens. So.
Yeah, and you guys are in the history book too. Nobody can take that away from you. You guys were the first ones to do it, type thing. That is very cool.
Yes,
I had to ask about it because I knew it was going to be obviously a very special time for yourself and all your teammates. But that I did want to ask as well. I mean, obviously, you were drafted in the 8th round to the Red Sox this past year, and I guess whenever I wanted to ask about like just when you found out it was the Red Sox, when you go through draft day, you start getting down to Fort Myers. Like, what were your initial thoughts? Like, I guess what things were you thinking about whenever you knew that it was going to be the Red Sox drafting you?
I think initially I was kind of surprised, to be honest, because I'd say, I set myself up pretty well, last year in this fall to give myself good opportunities. And I got the opportunity to talk to a lot of the teams in professional baseball during the fall, whether it be on Zoom or text message or whatever it may be. And Red Sox were one of the teams that I never heard from at all. Not even a what's your agent's name or
Wow.
what's your anything like that. So all during fall, during the beginning of the year, I knew they were coming to our games and stuff because I know other guys on our team that were talking to them. But I just thought, maybe they just don't have their eyes set on me. It's all right, whatever. And then during the end of the year, we kind of, my agents and I kind of went through the, who likes you, who doesn't like you, all this. The Red Sox, once again, they're kind of in the middle, kind of towards, the 15 to 20th range on the list. And so, yeah, I mean, I would definitely say I was not anticipating the Red Sox giving me a call. And then, boom, on draft day, kind of getting to that 7th, 8th round was when I started getting the calls, and that was, where we expected it to be. So I got the call from the agent, and it's like, it's the Red Sox, ball, this and that. And my first thought was like, wow, no, I mean, great. Like, that's awesome. Let's do it. And yeah, I mean, I just said, let's go do it. They offered what, good round, good what we were looking for. So I said, let's go do it. And yeah, I mean, upon, arrival and starting to learn about, the philosophies here and, how the program is, I'm honestly super happy about it. Everything, on the pitching side, especially that I've learned about so far. I've only been here a month, and, I've already started, developing new stuff, getting off the mound recently with all the crazy technology, and then implementing the stuff they've taught me already into the bullpen. It's already been a really great experience, and I'm really excited to, keep going and utilize, what the Red Sox have to offer.
I don't know if it's a running joke that a lot of people always talk about the absolute units that the Red Sox draft on the pitching staff. I mean, you had Davenport was 6'6", 230. Landman was 6'5", 228. You were 6'4", 210. Lefevre was 6'7", 195. I mean, it was a lot of big guys on the mound. Did you notice that right away? Like, is that something that you guys all kind of talked about?
I noticed it first. Someone posted on Twitter about it or something like that, and they tagged me. I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy. I mean, then you look at their big league staff, and you're like, oh well, I could see that they like that type of
their type.
And then we get here and it's just everyone. I mean, I'm a pitcher, so I guess I've always been around a little bit of taller people, so it wasn't anything that I wasn't used to already. But we've talked about it a little bit, and just like, wow, like that is kind of crazy. Everyone is absolutely pretty dang tall and weighs a good amount. And talking about that too, like one of the first things they told us when we got here was, eat food and mass equals gas. So get big. So
okay. Does that you mentioned looking at the big league staff and seeing obviously the size of a lot of their staff, and does that intrigue you at all, that I guess that the Red Sox kind of are showing that they know how to work with the certain with the certain type, and they're able to get guys up, like obviously you've seen like Peyton Tolley, Jake Bennett, like all these guys doing it recently. Does that intrigue somebody like yourself that's in your position, being like, hey, like I could be the next one of those guys that gets up and is up there?
Yeah, definitely. I think kind of exactly what you're saying. The Red Sox are definitely, I would say, new school in terms with technology. They definitely like their graphs, and they're showing me like the charts about weight gain, velocity gain, injury, like how people don't get injured as much when you're stronger, stuff like that. They have, I mean, they have a chart for and a graph for literally everything, which I like. So they kind of showed me that and told me, like, this is the reason we took you. This is the reason we like you, and we think if you keep doing this, you're going to end up in the right spot. And yeah, just I think it's just reassuring to just kind of tell me like, get stronger, just keep eating, just do what you're doing, and if you do that, it's good stuff lies ahead. So I'd say it's pretty reassuring for me, knowing that I have that in my back pocket, kind of the size of it already. I don't have to develop that.
All right, my last follow up here in terms of just who you are as the player. I saw your arsenal. I know it's early. I know that this is probably going to get tweaked a lot before we see you next February. But obviously, you had the heavy fastball. You had the curveball changeup as well. Are you? It's early, so I know that it's probably not finished product. But are you planning on? Are you working on anything new? Any updates to the arsenal?
Uh, I mean, I think that number one goal, the Red Sox say, you're going to have three goals at all times, whether that be like command goal, velo, pitch shape, blah, blah, blah. Number one goal for me and most people here is just throw harder. I'm on starting to throw some plow balls. I've never really thrown plows before. Still getting used to some of that type of stuff. But, kind of the velo plan, get up there, get my arm moving, and then kind of just refine what I have now. They kind of told me coming in that, I'm a guy that throws a lot of strikes, and I have, 3 to 4 quality shapes of my pitches. So this fall up all the way through November-ish, December is not going to be a really big tweak of the pitches. I might add some in there, maybe refine what I have, but I'm not gonna, as far as I know, and as far as what they've told me, I'm not really going to be changing grips around or really, adding a huge pitch, like a big sweeper or a big curveball, because they sort of like what I have now. They just want me to build off that foundation and just sort of refine what I have.
Yeah, like I said, if I ask you this question again in February when I see you down at Fort Myers, I'm sure it's probably going to be completely different.
Yeah,
But
I'm sure it will.
okay, all right. I have a couple questions left here, and I will let you slide. I did get I had to do some digging on some of this stuff, and thankfully the nice player pages on every school's websites kind of helped me get some of this. So. I saw you were a big outdoors guy, and I always love asking people, like, I interview guys during the season. It's like, they have every Monday off, or if they're not like at the field or whatever. But is it safe to say that you're spending a lot of time doing outdoor activities?
Honestly, not really.
Wow, it lied.
I would say I love to be, love playing basketball, going on a hike, going to the beach. That's great stuff. I also love to, I love a day where you just get home and just watch some TV. You can't beat that type of day. But that doesn't sound cool when you write that on a description.
That's fair.
So I left that half of it out. I'd say, I like, I'm spending more time now with people though, rather than, just going out with one person or maybe my girlfriend back at SLO, which I would do in school. Here, we'll go play some cards, go to a local place and just hang out, go to someone's house and hang out. I'd say it's less, outdoor activity type of stuff, more just, taking in the Fort Myers experience with the other draft guys. It's also I don't have a car here right now, so
Yeah,
I'm kind of limited to what I can do. But no, yeah, I mean, I'm doing a little bit of everything, mostly hang out with people, but you can't beat a day laying inside though. I can't lie.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's like you can't just like throw that on there because it's like, all right.
Yeah. I mean, people are gonna look at it and be like, "This dude's a loser." So I mean, I don't want people thinking that. So
okay, there was something intriguing on there that I did want an update on, and
okay.
I don't know if the injury like maybe threw a wrench in this or not this year, but it said you wanted to become a scratch golfer at some point. Is that still in the cards?
Yeah, man, the injury definitely put a hinder on that. That's still in the cards.
I figured
That will happen. I promise. If there's anything I do before I die, I'm going to become a scratch golfer. That will happen. I haven't really been golfing much during the year. I was injured. It didn't hurt me to golf, but it's like, I don't know if walking around and swinging a golf club all day and, is really good for me.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, obviously I don't have a car here. I don't have my golf clubs. I'm going to bring them though, probably. I do like golfing. I have many opportunities back home. I got some friends that work at, the golf course, so I could get in for free. I don't really have an excuse not to be a good golfer.
Yeah.
So I'm not definitely very far away from that goal now, but I promise to myself, if anything, at some point I will achieve that goal.
Okay, and I know that you're going to need your clubs down there, especially
Yeah.
especially once you get back from like
Yep.
Christmas break and everything, when guys start from all over the org get down there,
Yep.
because that's what they do in January, February. They
Yes,
go to the course. It's
exactly.
also great weather, so
Yeah, exactly. I'm a
okay.
pitcher, so I gotta learn how to golf.
Yeah, I was gonna say every clubhouse I've ever been in around minor league baseball, there's all the pitchers got their clubs in there.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes.
Yeah.
All right, Josh. Well, I appreciate all the time. Obviously, looking forward to seeing you debut in 2027 when that time comes. But thank you again for hopping on and doing this.
Yeah, no problem. It was a blast. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.